Hello classmates and Miss Whelan. I am going to make a presentation about Stalinism, what it is, and how it compares to other forms of communist theory. Now, I chose this topic because I'm very interested in political theory, and I think that Stalin is a very important figure of the 20th century due to his industrialization of the Soviet Union, which prepared them for World War II, his impact on Eastern Europe, and on communist theory in general. Also, I wanted to learn more about how it is so radically different, or what is so different about it from Marxism and Marxism-Leninism, as Stalinism isn't necessarily a true communist ideology, which actually many people believe it is. So Stalinism sought to achieve socialism in one country, socialism being a state where the means of production are owned by the state and or cooperative use between the state and the people. And he did this through rapid industrialization, collectivization of the land, and purging of Soviet society. He said that the intellectual must be useful for our cause or be obliterated. He quickly built industries from the ground up in all areas of the Soviet Union, and thanks to this, many now former republics of the Soviet Union have a lot of more industry than they otherwise would have. So Stalinism conflicts with Marxism, which is the true form of communism, the original form of communist theory, and they actually conflict on a very fundamental point. Stalinism said that socialism could be achieved in one country alone without foreign intervention by the working class, whereas according to Marxism, this could not happen. A true working class revolution in a capitalist state would have universal range, and socialism could not actually prevail without this help. So they're very different. They do conflict with each other a lot. Now, Lenin's ideology, Marxism-Leninism, wanted to preserve the revolution through the vanguard party, which was a very different thing from Stalinism, which wanted to essentially just industrialize and become, seek state power. Now, since Lenin wasn't in power for very long, not many of their policies, it's hard to compare their policies, but Lenin used anti-Semitism to deflect blame for Bolshevik actions, whereas Stalin called anti-Semitism cannibalism. Stalin purged the CPSU, which Lenin did not, CPSU being the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. Stalin wanted to Russify the USSR, making all the other Soviet republics more like Russia, and he therefore demolished schools in regional languages, whereas Lenin actually had built them. So, however, they did actually have some continuities. They were similar in many ways as well, namely that both used terror. Stalin had the Great Purge in the 1920s and 30s, and Lenin used the Red Terror during the Russian Civil War through the Cheka. Now, I think Stalinism fits into a state capitalist society, which is defined as a system where commercial economic activity is undertaken by the state, with the management and organization of the means of production in a capitalist manner, maintaining the conditions of wage labor arising from centralized ownership, which essentially means that the state had total control over production, and that wages remain to the workers and goods, and their prices on goods, which there were in the Soviet Union. The state owned everything, and workers were paid, and there were prices on goods. So it fits into it 100%, even despite the state being nominally socialist, hence the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So I think that Stalinism really aimed for a more bureaucratized form of society where the state, or more in the Soviet Union really, the Communist Party had total control. So Stalinism seeks to create socialism in one country. It differs from Marxism because Marxism didn't think this was possible. It differs from Leninism because the aims were different and some of the policies differed, although there were some similarities. And Stalinism also fits into a state capitalist model. And the full aim of Stalinism really was rapid industrialization and a tight control of Soviet society. Thank you very much.